This is a story which has been created keeping in mind real-life situations that the bridge team would experience during pilotage. Keep your notebooks handy. So let's begin. It is 1500 hours. The master is proceeding towards the pilot station at Port A. Weather is calm. The vessel is MV Bulk Carrier, a Handymax bulk carrier with drafts of 6.45 meters forward and 6.65 meters aft in brackish water. The vessel will pick up the pilot at the pilot station A. The bridge team consists of the master and chief officer. They are both old hands in the company.
The bridge arrival checklist, as per our SMS 7.1.31, is complied with. All equipment was tested and found in order. I tried to contact the pilot station, but they did not respond. I believe we are probably out of the VHF range.
Very good, Chief. Make sure we contact the pilot station as soon as we are within VHF range.
Checks as per bridge arrival checklist 7.1.31 must be carried out before pilot boarding. When the vessel comes in the VHF range, the OOW must contact the pilot station.
This is MV Bulk Carrier. We are arriving at pilot station A, ETA 1530 hours. Could you kindly confirm the pilot boarding arrangement and any other instructions, please?
Your pilot boarding will be at 1600 hours from pilot station A. The pilot ladder will be port side 2 meters above the water level and boarding speed 5 knots.
Sir, got a confirmation from the pilot station. The pilot is at 1600 hours from pilot station A. The pilot ladder will be port side 2 meters above the water level and boarding speed 5 knots.
Good, Chief. You can now call your duty AB and look out on the bridge and give 10 minutes notice for the engines.
Roger, sir.
The role and responsibility of each bridge team member during pilotage must be clearly delegated.
Duty AB and AB for lookout, come in. Please come up on the bridge in 10 minutes.
Copied, sir. On my way to bridge, sir.
This is the chapter 7.1.4. This is how the manning level must be increased according to SMS chapter 7.1.4. It's almost 1515 hours now. Vessel has to reduce speed to adjust ETA to the pilot station.
Okay, AB. Take the wheel, and Chief, I will take over the con. Don't forget to mention it in the logbook.
Absolutely, sir.
The master has taken over the con, and it is promptly entered in the logbook. Master took over con from the chief officer at 1518 hours.
Wheel on hand, steering heading 020 degrees.
Very well. Bring her to 015. And engines half ahead.
Heading 015.
Engines on half ahead, sir.
As the vessel approaches the pilot station.
Okay, Chief.
Plot position regularly. Acquire targets on radar and let me know if there is any dangerous target. Also, in the meantime, check for any reportings to be done and do them accordingly. Yes, sir. I am continuously keeping a good watch.
The vessel is about to pick up the pilot in a few minutes.
Okay, Chief. Call the second mate to receive the pilot near the pilot ladder, and then he can bring him up. After that, tell him to proceed to the forward station. Also, give calls for stations forward and aft.
All right, sir.
The pilot boards the vessel en route to X terminal.
Hello, Cap. I will be the pilot for you today.
Hi, pilot. It's a pleasure to have you on board.
Master and OOW must maintain full situational awareness and monitor the pilot's actions.
The vessel is at full ahead. Has a right-handed propeller. And the bow will can to starboard when engines are given astern. Draft is 6.45 meter and 6.65 meter. Status of nav equipment is all in good working condition. Our max bollard pulls forward and aft is 90 tons. Can you tell me the mooring configuration?
The weather is calm, traffic is low as of now. My intended route is to pass east of the shoal, and then turn to port. You will be escorted by 2 tugs from the ABC bridge. We will be berthing on berth number 5 starboard side alongside. The current is expected to be strong. The wind is around 6 to 7 knots. We will be having high tide during berthing, so the final mooring configuration will be 4+2+2, and captain, the speed restriction in this channel is 10 knots and its minimum depth is 11 meters. I will be taking care of the reporting in chief. Please remind me 1 nautical mile from each alteration.
Right, sir, copied.
This is checklist 7.1.29. The checklist 7.1.29 must not be filled up earlier by the OOW. It must be filled up by the master when the actual master-pilot exchange is carried out.
Chief, can you please pass me the checklist 7.1.29 so that I can check that all points have been covered? And can you confirm that all the required flags are hoisted?
Absolutely, sir, well noted. And all the required flags are hoisted accordingly?
Also, you keep a good lookout and plot position accordingly. If you see any danger, please let me know immediately.
It must be confirmed that all necessary flags are hoisted, including the country flag and the pilot flag. The bridge team needs to remember that with the pilot on board, it doesn't relieve the bridge team of their responsibility. Also, during or after the exchange, the master must present the pilot card with accurate vessel information to the pilot.
Okay, forward and aft. We will pass east of the shoal, and then turn to port. There will be 2 tugs assisting, 1 forward and 1 aft. Tugs are to be made fast port bow and port quarter respectively. We will be going starboard side alongside. Please keep a good watch while we turn, and please let me know if you see any danger.
This is second officer forward, copied your last message. This is the third officer aft, copied your last message.
The master must brief the bridge team and the mooring stations on the berthing maneuver and berthing arrangements.
Master, there is 1 buoy near the berth which is not in a position now. The update has not come yet. We have to be careful of that.
Sure, Mr. Pilot. Chief, can you please mark that on the ICDs?
Right away, sir.
Any important information or updates about navigation from the pilot must be promptly marked on ICDs.
Mr. Pilot, we are 1 nautical mile from the next alteration.
Thanks, Chief. Appreciate it. Slow ahead.
Slow ahead. Engines on slow ahead, sir.
OOW shall plot the vessel's position on ICDs at regular intervals, as per the passage plan, by bearing, range. At the same time, monitor engine order and response, course, speed, depth of water, etc.
Captain, I think there is a small boat that will cross dangerously close ahead of us while we turn to port.
Okay, Chief. Mr. Pilot. A small boat will be dangerously close after we make the turn. How do you intend to pass?
Thanks, Captain, for the input. I am planning to pass stern of her.
The OOW or the master must not hesitate to seek clarification from the pilot or challenge the pilot if they believe an action of the pilot is detrimental to the safety of the vessel. Approaching berth.
Chief, please keep a good look at radar and ICDs and let me know the distances and speed regularly when the vessel is around 1 mile from the berth.
Surely, sir.
Distances from the berth must always be measured using the radar and the radar range adjusted accordingly. Distances must not be visually estimated by the bridge OOW. When the distance to berth is 1 nautical mile, the OOW shall call out the speed, distance and engine status to the master and pilot at regular intervals, until vessel reaches the berth.
Distance to berth, 1 mile, speed 2 knots, engines at dead slow ahead.
Thank you.
The vessel is coming closer towards the berth now, with the assistance of the tugs.
Okay, forward. I need the estimated distance from the berth every 50 meters.
Starting from a distance of 2 ships' length, the forward stations must report the distance every 50 meters.
Bridge forward, distance from the berth is about 300 meters.
The vessel slowly comes closer towards the berth. She is parallel to the berth at one point, and the tugs start pushing. If the berthing maneuver involves swinging the vessel off the berth, the estimated clearing distance of the ship's bow or stern or both depending on the circumstances, from the berth or any other obstruction or object, such as a buoy, barge, anchored vessel, etc., must be reported by the officer at forward and aft mooring stations. As the vessel turns before berthing, stations report the respective clearances.
Forward and aft. What is the clearance?
Bridge forward, the fore and aft distance from the vessel ahead is 50 meters.
Bridge aft. The fore and aft distance from the vessel aft is 25 meters.
The prediction on the ICD shows we are parallel to the berth.
Okay, stop engines.
Stop engines.
Okay, forward and aft. Throw away your heaving line whenever possible. And pass your springs first.
Copied forward.
Copied aft.
It is very important for all the members involved in berthing to do their jobs carefully, as the slightest mistake can cause a big accident. The master must instruct the officers at forward and aft stations on reporting distances and clearances during the briefing on berthing maneuver. Any officer involved in the maneuvering of the vessel must not be doing any other work. The vessel has successfully berthed now, and the mooring lines are passed on.
Thank you, pilot. It was a very nice experience with you. Just one last thing. What shall we do if we need to vacate the berth in case of a contingency?
In case of a contingency, call the pilot station on VHF. They will guide you, and it was a nice experience with you too.
It is always good to be double sure about any special requirement of the port and the contingency plans. This storyline depicts the procedure the bridge team is expected to follow while the vessel arrives in port under pilotage. If you need to, watch it again and take notes. In the next part, we will see what happens during departure port. Let us make sure every vessel is navigated safely at all times.